Now, how do the devil does his things? He had a subtle way, the same way he played with Eve, the same way he's playing with us today. And I see that the origin or the root of this LGBTQ plus is about sex. Human being is now confused with sex. We don't know what sex is, and we don't understand what sexual intercourse is. We are insatiable, and we are always longing for more. In human being, turning to specify, what we did was that we said, okay, let's go and learn from animals. You know, when God was creating things, God have a rule on how each of his creatures should live. So human beings have their way of having sex, dogs have their way of having sex, sheep have their way of having sex, and all the animals have their way of having sex. But human beings says, no, for our way is too boring, so let's try copy from the animals. And now human beings learn from a dog, and now they call it the doggy style. Yes, I welcome you to my channel, and here is a channel which is meant to transform lives. Today we are going to look at what is actually on the table. If you look at the world today, there's a discussion, and all the discussion is about gayism, lesbianism, transgender, and a whole lot. I want us to discuss it, but my focus or the way I'm going to tackle will be different from the others, because I see that we are missing the very point. And what is the point? The root of it, we are not tackling it. The devil is very smart. And one thing I know for sure is that when the devil wants to push something, he doesn't go straight to the point. Because he knows definitely that as soon as he goes straight to the point, human beings will get to know his intention. And because of that, he also maneuver his way, find so many ways to make sure that he reach that particular place that he had intended. The question that I want to ask is lesbianism, gayism, the transgender, and a whole lot has to do with just a man sleeping with a man or a woman having an affair with a woman? That is the question. Because we know married men who sleep with their married women from the back door. There are a lot of married women who are crying day in and day out. Why? Because they are hurting, but whom are they to complain to? Where are they to send their matter? Their husband says, no, I don't feel comfortable to have sex with you or to have an affair with you at your natural way. But I want to have it from the back door. And that is what is going on. Somebody will also say that why would God also sit down for this thing that he made judgment on Sodom and Gomorrah to happen again? If you go to Romans chapter 1, verse 18 to 27, in fact, verse 26 and 27 made it clear that human or female will have lust or will desire to change their natural way of sex by having an affair with their fellow females. The same thing applies to males. What happened was that from the verse 18, the Bible let us understand that people will ignore God. People will try to disobey their maker. People will disown their maker, and because of that, God will give them up. It means that God will allow that to happen. So for us Christians, it is not a surprise for something like this to happen. But then we need to also guard ourselves against the edges, whereby we ourselves does not fall a victim, or even our children may not come into such a situation or do not come and do such an act. Now, how do the devil does his things? He had a subtle way, the same way he played with Eve, the same way he's playing with us today. And I see that the origin or the root of this LGBTQ plus is about sex. Human being is now confused with sex. We don't know what sex is, and we don't understand what sexual intercourse is. We are insatiable, and we are always longing for more. You know, in the olden days, what our forefathers knew was that my wife have to lie down, I have to lie on my wife. And that is what today they call it missionary position. That is what they knew. They had nothing again. They were satisfied with that. Then the time came, the devil was so smart. In fact, in the beginning, as it will be coming, it will come in a way that Christians can criticize. It got to a time people said that no, the way we have sex is too boring. Just lying down. And some people even refer to it as crucifixion. It is too much. They say it is becoming boring. So let's try to adapt. let's try to spice it up. In human being intending to spice it up, what we did was that we said, okay, let's go and learn from animals. You know, when God was creating things, God have a rule on how each of his creatures should live. So human beings have their way of having sex, dogs have their way of having sex, sheep have their way of having sex, and all the animals have their way of having sex. But human being says, no, for our way is too boring, so let's try copy from the animals. And now human being learn from a dog, and now they call it the doggy style. So now doggy style was derived from dog, because that is how dog used to have sex. So now human being says that because ours is too boring, let's go and copy from dog. Then they started copying from other animals. And it got to a time that human beings themselves they sat down and try to create their own style. So today you see this star will come up, today this one will come up, and stars came to being. Okay, stars has come. If you think that it is sex, it is bringing new styles that will make sex appealing, or that will spice it, but then it will be okay. It got to a time human beings realize that no, sex, just changing style is not enough. There are more to it. Then it came. Then people will say, oh, we have discovered something in the female sexual organ called G spot and A spot and stuff. And they say, okay, for a man, if you want to please your wife, for a man, if you want your wife to be satisfied, when you want to have an affair with your wife, what you need to do is that there's this called G spot. Try to use your finger to trigger your woman, to arouse your woman's libido. So now, in the beginning, people felt so bad. Why should I use my hand to enter my wife? Sometimes they were even looking at it that maybe your nails will be long, and sometimes they will be dirtiness, so it will cause a lot of diseases. And some people were also thinking, no, it is too bad. But it got to a time, it became normal. People thought that, oh, it is okay to use my hand to finger my wife. There's no problem with that. So now human beings also got to understand that. In fact, it was a gradual process. Now it got to a time that they also saw that, no, just fingering someone is not enough. Just fingering is not enough. Now, when you want to have sex with your wife, you have to go through a lot of romance. And there are a lot of romance. It comes to a lot of things. They call it foreplay in our current world. Now, people also came. Now, the human, you can give your husband a blowjob. That thing that he used to enter your natural place. Now, it is not only that place that it can function. Your mouth too can do the same thing like your female sex organ can do. So use your mouth to arouse your husband, and they call it blowjob, and that thing came. In the beginning, it also happened the same way. People felt so bad. People said, why should I use man? Why should I put my husband penis into my mouth? Why? Why should I do this? This is not nice. It got to a time, it became normal, and now I can tell you that women even swallow the sperms into their stomach. At first, it was so disgusting, but today it is normal. Even Christians do it. Then what people thought that it would never happen was what we call licking. Hey, they say no, a man, in fact, your woman, in fact, for them to arouse, it takes a longer time. And these are some of the things you have to do. You have to lick your woman. That is using your tongue in your human sexual organ to arouse her. In fact, when it came, Christians were also so boring. No, why should this happen? Why should I put my mouth? Oh, this is very bad, because that is where the unit form and a whole lot of things. At first, it looked very disgusting. But today, I'm telling you that Christians and other religious people have accepted it, and they do it for their wife. Because now, if you don't do it for your wife somebody may take advantage of your wife, because your wife may think you are not satisfying her. So you have to go and look for someone or go somewhere that a person can be able to help her to get herself satisfied. So even if your man and your wife request for that and you refuse to give your wife, you are at risk, because you may lose your wife for another man. What I'm looking at it is that we are saying we're looking at the root of this gayism and lesbianism. And I'm saying that the root of it is that we are confused about sex. Human being is confused about sex. Now this licking came. Now what also came is that no, this licking is not enough. In fact, our anus, where so to say feces come from, they say that round hole that the feces come from, if your man lick your woman, that place if a woman lick that paste, and that paste it is the sweetest. If you go to social media and they are talking about it, in fact, you feel, why would this happen? But it started small. People thought, no, this is madness. But now people are doing it. People are doing it for their wife because now it has become normal. The devil has confused us about sex, and the devil has made sex to be like our essence of existence. So now let me tell you, if you go to the social media, all the topics are about sex. The talk shows on social media are uncountable. People are coming with their own imaginations about sex. People are coming with their own definitions about sex, and people are confused. Husbands are confused. Wives are confused what the real meaning or the actual satisfaction of sex is. Now it happened. Now now as people were confused and people were not satisfied, then it came to the fact that people said, no, it seems my opposite sex is not able to give me the satisfaction I'm looking for. I'm a female, the man is not able to give me that satisfaction. So let me go in for my own my fellow female, the same gender. And they got to know that, oh, the same gender is able to give me a lot of satisfaction. I'm able to feel good at her. The same thing applies to males. Men are also saying that, no, women are not able to satisfy us. We are not okay with women. So now let me go to my fellow men. And now that is what is happening. So the issue is about sex. We are confused about sex. We are confused. Some also said that, no, it seems I have tried the same sex, but it's not satisfying me. Why don't I change my actual sex? Maybe I'm a male. Why don't I change it and become a female? Maybe when I become female, I will be satisfied with the kind of sex I want to have. And now transgender also came, where females want to be like males, and males are also want to be like females, where they have to change their private part. They have to go ahead and do what? Take medicines that will give them. If he's a man, if a male, you give him female hormones. If it's a female, you give the person male hormones so that they will act like if it's a male, he act like a female. If it's a female, act like a man. And that is basically what is going on. Sometimes you think about it and you said, this is madness. Because even the actual people who are doing it are suffering. Now, as soon as you accept gayism and lesbianism, then you have to make sure that hospitals are available so that every day or every week, those people have to go for checkup because they will be hurt. It will deteriorate them and it will be disgusting. So they have to get doctors. And now the devil is so smart that the devil have put a lot of money into it. So now it is not about, some people don't go into it just because of even the satisfaction, but because of the pressure in it. The pressure the devil has said before that when you're gay, when you're lesbian, in fact there's money in there. So go in for it. So that is why I'm saying that now it has already happened. It is here with us. Now Ghana's parliament is now debating as to whether they should even make law to regulate it. So if you're a mother, if you're a parent, and you don't want to do, if you don't want to do it, and you don't want your children to also do it, what I want to say is that you have to orient your children about sex. Let them know that sex is not our essence of existence. Sex is not all what this world is about. There are greater things to come. And there are a lot of things. And remember, they have named it LGBTQ+. The plus means that they are insatiable. There are more to come. They have not arrived. So until Christ comes, I believe the human being will never come to a conclusion that we are satisfied with sex. And I think some of the things that will come will even be more appalling and disgusting than what we see today. So all the social media platforms, and what even pains me is that when you go to all the social media platforms who are talking about sex, what they will say is that, oh, we do it late in the night, we do late in the night, but at the end of the day, they leave it on YouTube and our children go and watch it. And now people want to have sex the way people are talking about it. People are not getting satisfied with the natural way God has given us. So my advice to you is that orient yourself about sex. Orient your children about sex. Educate them. Let them know that sex is not the way people think. Now the world is confused about sex. Christians should not be confused about sex. You should not be confused about sex, because if you also get yourself confused about sex, by the time I believe at first when you were talking about fingering, that you, if it were to be you wouldn't do it, but now you finger. When you talk about licking and all the other stuff, you wouldn't have gotten the interest to do it, but now you do them. So it means that even this gayism and lesbianism that you are talking about, a time will come, it will be normal. Let me tell you, 20 years to come, all the children that will come will see it as normal thing to do. And if you want to preserve your family, work on it now. Don't behave as if it is not about you. It is about you, it's about your children. Because it will get to a time your child may not be interested, but they may rape your child. People will go and pick your child and rape that child, that they want to have sex with the child because he will not accept it. So therefore, this is my advice for you as a Christian. This is my advice for you as a believer. God is expecting us to be clear and know that there's something higher for us. Sex is not the focal point. The focal point is that you will live a Christ-like life. You will obey God. And as the world is going, everything points to the fact that this world is going to an end. Let us work on our salvation with fear and trembling, as the Bible said, so that when Christ comes, you will live, and even pray that Christ will come early, so that all of us don't fall a victim onto these things. May the good Lord bless you, and I believe that you're going to share this message so that anybody who will get to know this message will know that I have to take a critical look about sex, because sex is confused, and I am not supposed to get myself confused. Amen. Thank you for watching this episode. Bye-bye.